Hello and welcome to this watch review. Today I've got the black Seiko 5 Sport model to share with you. I thought I'd do this video before I start modifying this watch. If you have followed me on this channel, you will have seen a few other models of the Seiko 5 Sport line that I've reviewed and then modified or done something with. So this isn't really new for me, but the colorway is definitely new, and I wanted just to share that first impression sort of with you. It is on a Nato strap as well from Seiko, which I haven't seen before, and this is the reference SRPD55K3, and it has the 4R36 movement. As we know, all Seiko 5 Sports have the somewhat updated movement, even though they are very much similar to the SKXs. Apologies, let me get those smudges off. SKXs of past, but this updated version, I love to use these for modifications because you just already get you know, some upgrades over, especially in terms of the movement, and you get a lot of nice colors and the dials, the chapter rings and so on. Even the bezels are actually quite nice, even though they're just simple aluminum or aluminium, should I say, material. Looking around the watch, it is just plain black and white, very sort of monochrome. Let's zoom in on the dial. So this is a Middle East market version, that's why it's got the Arabic day of the week. Of course, you can change that. But the dial is, I'd say, kind of a satiny finish. It's not very glossy, but then again, it's not very flat. Applied markers, of course, everything is white. All the loom is this white, plain white color. The bezel is very much black and kind of a silvery, it is a silvery finish for the markers on the bezel insert. And the hardware on the strap is Seiko branded. The strap itself actually feels reasonably good. I'm not a huge fan of Nato straps, so I can't really tell you know, a good quality one from a bad quality one, but this one certainly feels okay. And at $190 or thereabouts, this I think is a fantastic value for money watch. So well worth a look if you're after a simple black and white or black dial Seiko 5 or SKX even. Is a great alternative to one of those. There we go. So let me zoom back out. I'll show you the back of the watch quickly. So take it off the Nato. It's a shame that it's on a Nato actually, because you don't get to see the movement. So this is the 4R36 movement. It has stop seconds. Of course, it has a hand wind as well. There's no screw down crown, so this is only 100 meters water resistant compared to the SKX, which was 200. But realistically, you won't ever have a problem with putting this in water. Pulling out the crown to the first position allows you to cycle the day of the week. So here I've got the Arabic and English day wheel, and the other way is the actual date. And there you go. So dead simple, but quite nice to be able to see it. I always appreciate a exhibition case back. I always like to use it on my mods as well, because it kind of reminds you that you do, you know, have this beating heart inside there. The spring bars, I've noticed, are somewhat smaller than the typical fat Seiko spring bars. So they've obviously reduced the size. I have a feeling those fat spring bars was something to do with the divers ISO rating that these watches used to have. And of course, it has the nice Seiko 5 Sports drilled holes, so they are dead easy to remove without, you know, even any special tools. You can just swap out a strap really easy with a paper clip or something. So great. Keep an eye on this channel if you're not subscribed. I know a lot of you watching aren't subscribed, so please do help me out. I'm hoping to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I will be modifying this into something quite rare and interesting, and that's coming in the next few days. So I would appreciate you sticking around to watch that video in the future. Now let's stick this back on. Let me try and remember which way around to do it. I think it's this way. I'm just going to put it back on the strap and give you a wrist shot, and then we'll have a loom shot at the end, as we all know. Whoops, how did I do that? I missed that completely. Let's try that again. There we go. See, I'm not super into NATO, so take some practice for me. Now I've got quite large wrists, 7 3/4 inches, although I have lost some weight recently, so perhaps they're getting a bit smaller. But typically, these kind of watches fit me quite well because they are, of course, 43 in diameter or thereabouts. Now, this is my problem with NATOs and many straps actually. When I put it on, clasp is, or buckle, sorry, is way over here. And this pokes out rather annoyingly. I can tuck it back in, but it's a little bit awkward looking. Or maybe that's all right. Yeah, it would have been better if it was like 1 inch longer. But anyway, this is it on the wrist. So NATO strap is quite chunky because of that sort of folded over sort of thing that happens with them and the extra material, but the rest of the strap is really dead smooth. So it's actually, if I'm thinking about it, if I'm typing on a keyboard, if I'm working at a desk, this is actually probably a lot more comfortable than a bracelet or even a regular leather strap. So I'll pause the video here, I'll go get the UV light and we'll do a loom shot. So we're back for the loom shot. I've just used my nifty little loom loop, and I've charged it up for a few seconds, and even in this well-lit room it glows really quite nicely. It's got this kind of greeny standard Seiko loom, which really can't be replicated. I have not seen another dial pretty much from any brand or any aftermarket Seiko dial from various places. I've toyed with a few of them and none of them react to loom and shine as bright as the original Seiko dial. So if you do mod one of these watches and use a different dial, keep these dials, because I think for the loom alone they are well worth it. So there you have it, guys. Quite a nice watch. As I mentioned, I'll be doing something quite interesting with this one, so keep tuned on the channel, please subscribe. And yeah, I'd recommend it. If you like watches on a NATO, you want something simple, not too flashy, pretty straightforward to use, etc. This one is a great bet. That is the SRPD55K3. Thank you.